Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Galen Snyder Show. I'm Vince Reed. Our show brought to you each week by, of course, Aria Health, your friends and neighbors here in Bucks County, right there on Oxford Valley Road, along with, of course, the Pennsbury Basketball Recreation League, PRBLonline.com, and, of course, also in there by the big one there, that's the 150th anniversary celebration that's going on at the Continental Tavern out there in Yardley at Afton and Main Streets in Yardley. Well, this week we're going to be talking about a little bit about last week's ball game, and also, of course, we're going to talk quite a bit about the upcoming playoff game in District 1 Quad A for the opening round of the playoffs. But we'll talk a little bit and go back and take a look at that last ball game, a good ball game between Pennsbury and the Chamonix, and of course before a nice crowd on hand for that ball game, as you would expect for a contest like that, and so meaningful to two ball clubs as well, as far as being able to get into the playoffs, and they were able to get in as the Chamonix, of course, won that 16-14 in a real close contest. But Coach, tell us a little bit about that ball game and how things went, and what possibly you learned from that contest.
Well, I don't know if we learned anything. I thought that Chamonix came out and I thought they outplayed us in the first half. We got up by a touchdown after the first half. Actually, they're up by 2 scores. We responded to that touchdown before the end, and get a pick. So, the way we played in the first half, we were fortunate to get out of there, just hang on and score. I thought the second half was a different story. I thought we played real hard in the second half. And, they kicked the field goal, got up by 2 scores on us. We came back, we scored, and then we got the ball back, and we actually had a chance to win at the end. So, I thought, hey, it was a hard-fought game. I thought overall, they probably outplayed us by a little bit because of the first half. But like I said, the kids battled and gave themselves a chance to win at the end. Just came up short.
I brought something up at the Ben Salem ball game. I don't know if anyone told you about it. I had talked to coaches before. I'm talking about, as I mentioned to on the air that night, coaches that I know from back in the area where I'm from, in around that Valley Forge area, and I was looking at what was going on with your team before the ball game. You had, of course, the big night, of course, which is nice to have, and that's to have the recognition of the football players and their parents are there, the cheerleaders and their parents, and the band parents. Don't get me wrong, but my feeling was, just as coaches have all said to me, they do not like to play a tough ball game on nights like that because there's too much time taken up, that the kids are in line, the kids are taking time around with their parents, they're not in there, and my feeling was, I thought that possibly you were going to come out, and I said, they're receiving first. I said, I don't think, I'm wondering myself if they're really in that mode, football mode. In that first drive, they took 6 minutes off the clock and went right down the field. Now, that could be just me or talking to some other coaches. I don't know what your feeling is about something like that. That's my feeling, and that's the feeling of some coaches I know back home.
I mean, I didn't really think about it, but, he made up a point. I thought we were a little flat.
Yeah.
Sometimes things like that contribute to it. But, I say that, but then again, it's, you can't use that as a reason or something like that. But you can't really say that. You got to kind of give props to the opponent.
Oh, yeah.
And, But, yeah, I mean, I get where you're coming from, but there's really no way of getting around it. That's the problem. It's senior night. You recognize the seniors. But when you're playing a team that it's at this intensity level, you have to be ready to go.
Yeah, you have to be ready to go. That's what I'm talking about, because I know some of the coaches I've talked to, and guys who are retired now, and they're not even coaching anymore, and they said that they would go to their athletic director and they would say, look, schedule us a game where we're pretty sure, we can possibly beat this ball club, but don't give me the real tough one when you have those kind of nights, because our team is not ready. And that was a feeling coming from the coaches who were years ago. Maybe the coaches feel a little differently nowadays.
Like I said, I can see your point.
Well, I thought
it is what it is.
I thought I'd get that out there. I'm sure I'm going to get some comments. I'm positive I'm going to get comments about it. But that's my feeling. That's my thoughts on it when I see those things happen. But we're going to talk a little bit about, of course, as well, the big game coming up here. That's what we're here for now, to talk about that Downingtown West Ball Club, which comes in at 9-1. They were, of course, undefeated. They were number 2 when it comes down to maybe getting a spot there before finally, number 1 and 2 with Downingtown East. They lost that to East in a great game, 21-14. The same night, of course, that we had the Pennsbury and the Chamonix ball game. So we'll be playing now the Downingtown West Ball Club, while Downingtown East gets the number 1 seed. We're going to take a look at the game coming up between the Pennsbury and Downingtown West right after this.
The ARIA 3B Orthopedic Institute is redefining care in Center City and South Jersey. And our 50,000 square foot location on ARIA Health's Bucks campus in Langhorne features private rooms, free parking, and nearby hotels. With over a century of experience, the world-class 3Bs, Doctors Booth, Bartolozzi, Balderston, and their partners personally guide you from treatment through recovery. For all your orthopedic needs, call 1-888-ORTHO-3B or visit aria3bortho.org. At the ARIA 3B Orthopedic Institute, you come first.
If you are looking for a car, where do you go? Faulkner Auto Group at 4427 Street Road in Trevose is where to go for the best deals in Bucks County for all your new pre-owned cars, trucks, or SUVs. Go to Faulkner Auto Group. It's always Faulkner, to be sure. Go online to faulknerautogroup.com. Just remember, it's Faulkner, to be sure, for all your new cars or trucks. 4427 Street Road in Trevose. Faulkner, to be sure.
The Gator, Jerry Blavitt here, to tell you to tune us in every weekday afternoon from 3 to 5 p.m. right here at WBCB 1490 AM and throughout the world at WBCB1490.com. And it's brought to you by the Italian People Bakery and the deli at 63 Butler Street in the Chambersburg section of Trenton, and also in Levittown at Woodburn and Oxford Valley Roads, and where all baking is done on the premises at both stores.
And we're back once again with the Galen Snyder Show. I'm Vince Reed. And of course, I want to let you know the Continental Tavern, of course, is one of those places where you can kind of settle in, enjoy a really relaxing dinner, or just have a hamburger if you want, any kind of a salad. They have them all, pasta dishes, they have seafood dishes for you. And of course, one of the things they do is a lot of places now starting to do, but they were the first to do it, and that is that they're streaming live all the Pennsbury games. So this weekend, you can go there to the Continental Tavern on Afton Avenue and Main Street in Yardley. You'll be able to see the ball game as well in that playoff game this weekend, beginning at 7 o'clock is the kickoff time. And of course, we're also brought to you by the Pennsbury Basketball Recreation League. You can contact them by prblonline.com. And of course, they are there, Saturday clinics, open to all, run by the Pennsbury High School boys teams. And of course, they will be open to kindergarten right up onto seniors if you want to come out and learn the game of basketball, play, enjoy yourself, maybe even taking it further. After a lot of the people that end up going in the PRBL wind up on high school teams, a lot of them, of course, from this area that go there, go to Pennsbury as well. So we hope you'll take them up on that. You can get in touch with them by just going to prblonline.com. And of course, we're brought to you by ARIA Health, your friends and neighbors in Bucks County who are there for you when you need them. Coach, we're coming up to a big one here. The Whippets of Downingtown, 9-1, finishing up second, as it turns out, in the Chestmont League National Conference for them. Have a nice team. I got some stats on some of their players. Let's first find out that you've had somebody out there scouting, maybe these guys, or had a look at them maybe on tape. What do you see from them?
Well, I see the quarterback is a real good athlete, runs the ball very well. The kid last year also ran the ball well. This kid probably runs better. The kid last year is probably more with a passing threat. He played extraordinary against us. When we faced this team, the roles were reversed. We were the 2 seed, they were the 15, and we were at Falcon Field last year. So that's what I see sort of at the quarterback position. A real good athlete who, and he can pass and he can pass, and he does a nice job. Not quite the passer that last year's kid was.
Yeah.
So that's first off. Second, number 2 is a really good back.
Yeah, Jake Barr.
Yeah, he's a speedster. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He runs the ball well. He's a big threat for them. Number 30, I believe, is out.
Mike Riddick.
He hasn't played in a few years. Briggs.
Yeah.
He was kind of their go-to back when they played Shamrock
Right.
early in the season, so
Right.
he hasn't. I don't think we'll see him in this game. But those have been the three guys that were sort of their top guys, at least
Yeah.
their top threats.
Well, as you mentioned, Tom Mattione, who's their quarterback, just to give people an idea, he was 59 for 90 through the air, 1,245 yards during the regular season, 17 touchdowns, intercepted twice, and also he rushed 51 times for 248 yards and 5 TDs. And of course, their top running back, Jake Barr, at 563 yards. He's averaging 7.7 a carry and has 10 touchdowns along the way. But Braden Harper and Kevin Kriakos are two guys too that have been toting the ball a bit for him. They each have 4 touchdowns, and they each are getting some share as well. And then when you look at the receivers in here, you got the receivers are all, no matter how many they're getting double figures on the receptions. Barr is averaging 21.8. He's got 9 touchdowns. Nate Allain is averaging 32 at grab. He's got 7 TDs. You got Colby Burke, who has 21.3 per catch, and he's got 4 touchdowns. And Kevin Kriakos has 19.1 as far as an average of each catch, and he hasn't scored a touchdown yet. But I look at that and I say, boy, that's a lot of yardage, 20 yards at a time for these guys.
Yeah, I mean, they, I see the Barr kid's got over 500 yards receiving and 500 yards rushing, plus about combined 19 touchdowns. So it's, as I was saying earlier, the number 1 threat. But they're about 50-50 as far as the breakdown of pass and run. So, they're a team who takes pride in being very versatile on offense. They're a sort of a team that's evolved out of the wing tee and sort of the spread option to become what they are, which is kind of a combination. If you took us, then you took a little bit of rock south, and you sprinkled in a little bit of rock north, that's probably what they are. Combination, which is an interesting combination, but that's kind of what they are.
Which really, by the looks of what they've gotten on the ground and in the air, gives you an idea that they're very versatile and they can do practically whatever they want, during the course of the ball game, because they seem to be good at both facets, whether it's running or whether it's passing.
Yep, they certainly are. And they've been playing better defense this year than last year.
I think that's been the key with them. I know in talking to a couple of coaches down that way when we played them the last few years, I talked to 1 or 2 coaches. We were down there, we played, I remember Coatesville one time when we played them, and another time we went down there and we played another good ball club from that Chestnut League area. And they were mentioning about the fact that they felt that a few years ago that they saw what happened to them when the National Conference teams like yourself went down and played them. They said that they felt that they had to get tougher when it comes to line play. They said these guys are just big and tough, and they'll just run you over. They said that's not the kind of guys that they used to have, and they were saying they were going to try to build toward that, some of these teams.
I can understand that. When you look at us, the Chamois, North Penn, playing physical styles of football,
Right.
and then Chestnut be a little bit more wide open. Sometimes when they were running to us, I mean, they won some games too. It's back and forth, but I think in some of when their top teams have met our top teams, we seem to be able to really use physicality against them. But as I said, maybe that was the case last year with us in Downtown West, but I see this year that they've tightened things up on defense.
All right, we're going to look at the defensive side of Downingtown West, the Whippets, coming up here shortly, right after this.
Yo, Trenton and Levittown. This is the Geeter, the big boss with the big hot sauce, Jerry Blavitt, inviting you to join me every weekday afternoon from 3 to 5 as we bring back the memories at the top of the dial, 1490 AM, WBCB, and throughout the world at WBCB1490.com. And it's brought to you by Mako at 1460 Prospect Street, right off Alden Avenue in Ewing Township. Owned and operated by my main man, Matt Palmer.
Hi, this is Merrill Reese, and since 1986, McCaffrey's Supermarket has been a real supermarket experience and a very proud member of our community. Through good times and bad times, Jim McCaffrey and his family have been there to assist our neighbors when they needed help, whether it's helping flood victims, raising funds for the American Cancer Society, or supporting the local Little League teams. You can count on McCaffrey's to be there. McCaffrey Supermarkets, 635 Heacock Road in Yardley in the village of Newtown, at 2890 South Eagle Road, and also in Princeton and West Windsor.
Peruzzi Nissan is the home of the 3495 Pennsylvania State Inspection and Admission, and is your full-service automotive facility for all makes and models, regardless of where you purchased your car. Air conditioner or tune-up for just $79.95 at Peruzzi Nissan. Buy 3 tires at Peruzzi Nissan and get the 4th one free, plus free alignment checks. Have your car looking showroom new with a value detail package for just $64.95 and a full detail package for only $179.95. Peruzzi Nissan Service, Business Route 1, Fairless Hills, where our business is you.
And we're back again with the Galen Snyder Show. We talked about the offense, of course, of Downingtown West. And, of course, as Coach was mentioning, a better defense now than maybe they had. Got some stats on some of their defense here. Cole Zapp is one of the guys, and Zach Seaver, that would be number 5 and number 49, who are leading them in tackles when it comes to 44 apiece for them. And Seaver has 11 tackles for a loss and has a couple of sacks for his credit as well. And they got a few others, as they have Braden Harper, who's also a guy who can go both ways. He's got 39 and 20 tackles when it comes to tackles for a loss, so he's been in the backfield a lot. And, they take pride, and I was looking online with them a little bit, of the fact that they can get in there, and they've been getting some real good sacks this year.
Yeah, I think so. I guess we have about 4 tapes on it, and it's different because a lot of the offenses they're playing are wide open style of offenses as well, maybe in the spread and things like that. So yeah, it's tough to gauge. It's really we had nobody to really go over as far as offensively. They're picking at the offense that presented us. We really didn't have anybody. So fortunately, we played them last year. I know defensively this year, not only are they doing a better job, it seems like they're sticking with more of one style of defense, in and on stacking, 50, 30, whatever you want to call it these days. Whereas last year when we played them, they started out in the 4-3, they were kind of 6-1, which is a variation off of that. They ran a lot of different things against us last year. This year they seem to be more comfortable kind of playing more of a base defense, and then from there doing their stunts and things of that nature.
Well, you look at this ball club, and you see where they have, when it comes down to the guys that, the punter, for instance, Connor Bowler. I thought that was interesting in the fact that Connor Bowler is the one who's the punter. He's number 6 for them when you see him. And he's only averaging 27 yards on an average. So I thought to myself, this may be a chance if you can, kind of, back them up a little bit toward their end and get yourself a pretty short field.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that stat, but it is good to know.
The other thing I was looking at too, of course, they have a youngster by the name of Viscardi Massimo, and he's 46 for 52 in extra points and field goals. He has so far, he's at 3 for 4, and he has his long one been 33 yards for him so far this year. But that's part of the game they have there, and I think a lot of it is when you score. I think probably you're basically, for the most part, you did get one conventionally. I will say that in the Chamonix game, but 2. But it's the same 2 for 2. But when you score, we'll say against this team, would you go for 1 or would you go for 2?
Well,
Depends on what the story is.
Depends on what the situation is.
If it's the first score of the ball game, what are you doing?
I can't tell you that. Since we went to a muddle huddle, kids come out, if they give us the look, if they cover down the muddle huddle.
I got to put that down. You call it the muddle huddle. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mark that down.
Yeah. So if they don't have enough bodies over there, then you signal in to go for the 2.
Yeah.
And if they do cover it, then you bring it back and you kick the 1.
Exactly.
So that's kind of where it's. But the intention is to go for 1 unless they unless they just don't cover it.
Yeah.
Or they give you an edge. or something.
See, I was trying to get something out of you there a little bit.
Probably won't.
That sounds good. That sounds good for us, and whatever you do is fine. And we're going to be back, and we're going to talk about some of the playoff games going on here this year. This first round coming up this weekend. Of course, everybody else is going to be playing. Well, actually, everybody but two are going to be playing on Friday. There are two games, including the Pennsbury ball game that will be on a Saturday. We'll tell you about that in just a moment.
Achieving what you want demands the right game plan. When you team up with PNC, you get the tools and know-how you need to get where you want to go. Whether it's buying a new home, sending your kids off to college, or retiring the way you want, PNC is here ready to help you achieve your financial goals. To discover all the ways PNC can help, stop by any branch or visit PNC.com. PNC for the achiever in you. PNC Bank, member FDIC. I'm Merrill Reese to tell you about our good friends at the Revere Ristorante Italiano in nearby Ewing Township at 802 River Road. I can tell you that from South Philadelphia to New York's Mulberry Street, there's no better Italian cuisine than that served at the Revere. Start your meal with one of their great appetizers or salads. Entrees include outstanding veal dishes, fresh seafood daily, excellent steaks and chops, homemade pasta dishes, daily specials, and much more. You can also enjoy their bar area, where on most weekends, entertainment is offered. The Revere also does off-premise catering and can accommodate private parties for any affair, including business functions. Call the Revere Ristorante Italiano for more information and reservations at 609-882-6365. 882-6365. The Revere Ristorante Italiano open Monday through Friday for lunch and 7 days for dinner at 802 River Road, right off the Wilbertha Road exit on Route 29 in nearby Ewing Township.
Oh, the corner kick's right to Chris. He's got a shot. Oh, no.
It happens fast, so we'll treat you fast. Introducing Rothman Orthopedic Urgent Care, where you're seen without an appointment by a Rothman orthopedic specialist. Fast, any day of the week.
Okay. Easy with his leg.
Rothman Orthopedic Urgent Care, now in Marlton, New Jersey, with more locations to come. It happens fast, we'll treat you fast. Rothman Orthopedic Urgent Care. See RothmanInstitute.com.
Don't forget, if you miss any of your local high school sports action, you can read all about it in tomorrow's edition of the Trentonian. For your complete local and national news 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian, or online at thetrentonian.com. The only newspaper serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County 7 days a week, it's the Trentonian.
Well, Coach, we'll take a look a little bit at the playoff scenario here. I mentioned about a couple teams that are playing Saturday. You're one of them. Central Bucks East and Quakertown, they're going to end up playing at 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. So everybody will know what the score is and who won and who's going where, except for your ball game, because you're not going to play Downingtown West until Saturday night at 7 o'clock. But let's take a look at some of these that might seem a little interesting as far as that goes when you come down to this. Let's look at the 11 seed Council Rock North and 6 seed Upper Darby. Council Rock North playing extremely well right now. We did the game with South. That was great to see those two ball clubs. And of course, for a while there, it was looking like it was going to be tight. Then all of a sudden, Brandon McElwain just took over, and he's been taking over the last few weeks.
Yeah, he certainly has. I get to watch you guys on Smart TV. I watched the podcast. That was pretty cool on Saturday night, so I got to see the game. And yeah, I mean, McElwain really played well, and it's hard to stop. And I credit to their defense, Rock North. They really tightened up in the second half and did what they needed to do as well. So that was a great win for them.
Yeah, I thought going into the ball game, I had mentioned about that game, but I thought, whichever team came up big defensively was going to win it. And I thought Rock North actually, and of course Vince Medicine told me this when we interviewed him before the ball game, that he felt that they were getting better as a defense as the year went on.
Rock North, yeah. Well, that's the game plan, unless you can avoid injury.
Right.
The idea is you get better and better as you go.
I'm sure Upper Darby hasn't seen anything like Brandon McElwain. We'll see if that's, along with the rest of his unit, is going to be enough to upend them. As far as another game that we want to take a look at, Neshaminy gets an undefeated team from the Pioneer Athletic Conference, the Pac-10, and that's Springford. They're undefeated. They're 4 seed. Neshaminy's 13 seed. I don't know. We don't know that much about Springford. I can only go on what I know, the Chamonix and the Suburban 1 League National Conference. I could be wrong. My feeling there is the Chamonix should defeat Springford.
Well, I haven't seen Springford.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I haven't seen them. I actually did see Upper Darby. I saw them in the scrimmage against Rock South. And they have some size. They're tough kids from that area.
Yeah.
They run their ball pretty well and they get some speed.
Right.
And they got a great running back. And they can give Rocklands some issues.
Yeah. I think it's going to be
they're
a good game.
They're pretty physical too.
Yeah.
That could be, that's going to be a challenge for Rockland.
Well, that should be a good ball game.
As far as the Chamonix and Springford, from what I understand, Springford's not real big. Like Upper Darby has some size.
Yeah.
But Springford, not real big, but I heard, they're really offensively, they're pretty crisp. I expect that in the Chamonix to be a bigger squad, but Springford's pretty crisp. They're in the spread.
Yeah.
They run the ball on the spread. They're in the spread offense, which Chamonix has played us really well over the years because they have a lot of big bodies that they can throw at us. They sometimes run into issues playing spread teams that guys like that. So that'll be interesting from that standpoint. I think the way the Chamonix playing right now, if they don't turn the ball over, it'll be tough to beat.
Yeah. And another one I want to look at there was, of course, having to do with North Penn against Unionville, the number 9 North Penn, Unionville the number 8, and this North Penn team, as you know, it's another tough one coming out of the conference. They ended up winning it and taking the championship in the SOL National Conference this year. And the Unionville, we've seen them in previous years. They've represented themselves well, but I also, in this ball game, I like North Penn to win that ball game.
North Penn's going to be tough to beat in that spot, there's no doubt. But Unionville's a little bit like Downingtown West. They throw a lot of different looks, a lot of different, try to, they're a little tricky.
Yeah.
A little tricky, but as you said, North Penn's a big physical team that can throw the ball real well, so they're going to be tough to beat.
And of course, the other one I want to look at is the number 1 team, the one that's the top seed, Downingtown East and Plymouth White Marsh. Downingtown East, certainly a very good ball club. Plymouth White Marsh, when you come down, they're the 16th seed, and really when you come down to it, this has not been the same PW team that we've seen for a few years.
Maybe not. I don't know. They ended up 8-2. They found a way into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Downtown East, I saw them on film against West. They're a good team. So it's going to be a challenge for White Marsh for that.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. And certainly we talked about those bowl games. The big one that we're concerned with, though, of course, is going to be with Pennsbury going at it here tonight in just moments here against Downingtown West. As we said, most of everybody else, you'll know the results before this time, and you only have one game to look at to see where either Pennsbury or Downingtown West is going to be able to continue on to the second round of the playoffs. Incidentally, if they do win, they end up playing either the 3 seed Upper Dublin or the number 14 seed in Garnet Valley would be who the, I should say, no, you end up if you win this ball game, correct me on that, you'll be ending up taking on either Haverford, which is the 7th seed, or Perkiomen Valley, which happens to be the number 10th seed. And it's Council Rock North that would, if they win, take on either Upper Dublin or Garnet Valley in the second round of playoffs. We had a good year. We're looking to extend that year. A good game coming up here on the road for the Pennsbury Falcons. They'll be at the Whippets as they take on Downingtown West in the first round of the Pennsylvania District 1 Quad A playoffs. And for Galen Snyder, I'm Vince Reed.